I bring you greetings from the Republic of Vanuatu. My name is Silas Bule Melve. I am the Minister of Climate Change in Vanuatu. As I deliver this address, my people continue to face the constant risk and unfolding crisis posed by climate change. Our world today is in the midst of climate emergency, with no end in sight to increased emissions and the suffering of our people. On an increasingly systematic basis, the people of Vanuatu encounter many adverse impacts of climate change. These impacts include sea level rise, droughts, increased frequency of cyclones, and other extreme weather events. Category 5 tropical cyclone Pam, which hit Vanuatu in 2015, affected 64% of the economy and 60% of the population, as well as destroying 96% of food crops. This estimated total economic value of the effects caused by Cyclone Pam was estimated to be $449 million. Only 5 years after the devastation caused by Tropical Cyclone Pam, Vanuatu was hit again by another Category 5 cyclone. Between April 6 and 7, 2020, T.C. Harold tore across the northern and central islands of Vanuatu with sustained winds up to 270 kilometers per hour. It took lives, destroyed houses, food gardens, businesses, and infrastructure, leaving enduring scars of families, communities, and the nation. 1 month after the cyclone, it was estimated that over 9,000 people were still displaced across 190 evacuation centers. 2 months post-cyclone, 6,000 were still displaced with unmet needs. The compound nature of T.C. Harold and COVID-19 intensified the scale and broadened the scope of the human, social, economic, and environmental impacts. The Vanuatu T.C. Harold and COVID-19 post-disaster needs assessment estimates that the monetary bill of the disaster effects as a consequence of the disasters to be $617 million. This corresponds approximately to 61% of the gross domestic product in 2020. These highlighted examples only paint a snapshot into the many whole-scale impacts we are facing as a result of climate change. The climate crisis is a societal crisis, plunging our fragile planet and its vulnerable people into insuperable, submutable, and irreversible repercussions. But equally importantly, it is a human rights crisis. While Vanuatu strives to tackle climate-related challenges through the formulation of climate risk-informed plans and implementation of sector-focused interventions, our best efforts still fall short, because what we do at the national, subnational, and community levels will not be enough to solve the global crisis. The brutal truth is that the major emitters are not doing enough to meet their obligations despite serious warning presented by global scientists. We urgently need high-emitting nations to ramp up their climate action ambitions now. The injustices caused by fossil fuel emissions require our immediate attention. We want to see unrelenting, radical, and socially just reductions to emissions now and not later. It is time to bring the world's biggest problem to the world's highest court. At the 77th General Assembly of the United Nations, Vanuatu will propose a resolution calling on the International Court of Justice to give an advisory opinion on the obligations of states under international law to protect the rights of present and future generations against the adverse effects of climate change. An advisory opinion of the ICJ will draw a clear line between what is acceptable outcome of climate negotiations, what is a non-negotiable legal responsibility. A rights-focused advisory opinion from the ICJ would transform ambitions to address climate change impacts to our people, our communities, and to our fundamental rights, which is crucial for the success of the Paris Agreement. Vanuatu humbly asks your support in this endeavor and urges your respective governments to join us and vote for a UN resolution to give the International Court of Justice an opportunity to deliver an advisory opinion on legal implications of climate change under international law. Vanuatu does not seek to go this pathway alone. We seek the solidarity with you all. This is a new, innovative, and powerful opportunity for our states to highlight disproportionate and unjust climate impacts on the world's most vulnerable. If not now, then humanity, especially our young and children, will face an ever more perilous future. Thank you for your attention.